Now we're going to go to another subject. It's called Beer in a Movie, and it's a podcast. I understand beer, I understand movie, but what is a podcast?
Well,
first of all, Joe Hilliard.
Hi.
Introduce your friends.
Yeah, certainly. We are the three co-hosts of Beer and a Movie. It's a locally produced podcast about beer and a movie.
I got that.
David Gurney and Carlos Cooper and me.
Well, you got two of my favorite subjects there.
Exactly. Two of our favorite subjects also.
So you review the movie or you review the beer?
we review it all, Mac.
Okay.
No, the idea behind the podcast was we were both, well, all three of us, very big lovers of beer and movies. We would often find ourselves in conversations about these things, and we thought, boy, don't we have some insight to share with the public here.
Oh, okay. All right. And especially after a couple of pints, you've got all kinds of opinions. So, Carlos, how did you wind up with these gentlemen here? You were at the bar also?
No.
How did you wind up with
There was a fourth guy with us, and he came into my store one day and was talking about it. And I'd had a few podcasts in the past that were very short-lived. It's always hard to find somebody that's willing to do this every week, you know. And I was like, hey, I'd like to be a part of that. And then he was like, okay, we'll come by. And so I showed up, and then turns out they needed somebody to record and edit the podcast. So that's me.
Okay. So now we see the beer and we see the movie. Have you reviewed The Shining?
No, but David hates that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you hate the movie?
No, it's a joke. That's an ongoing joke on the show.
Yeah.
We will review The Shining soon.
Okay.
I feel that we will.
So what have you reviewed recently that I would want to hear?
Certainly.
So probably one of our most recent episodes was on Joker, the recent big DC film with Joaquin Phoenix, directed by Todd Phillips.
Yes.
Bad movie.
You gave it. Do you give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, or what do you call it?
We don't. We do try to, at the end of it, we have a conversation about the film, what we like, what we didn't like, things that we noticed that we thought were unique, outstanding, and then kind of towards the end of our conversation, we do try to get to some consensus on it if we can.
So 1, 2, 3 votes. So 2 out of 3. Okay.
We weren't very supportive of Joker at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And Carlos, the third vote,
Didn't like it.
didn't like it.
Well,
Oh.
although I will say Joaquin's performance was amazing. I'm not going to, people come at me because
Yes.
they think I'm trying to knock him, and I'm
Yes.
not. Fantastic. The rest of it,
What concerned you? The horror parts or the?
No, I mean, I think that it had a lot of troubling, like, subtext and messaging to it, and I thought the script was kind of lackluster, and you can listen to our whole review about it, actually.
Yeah,
we'll go very in depth that we can't do on the show.
During the show, there is no, we have a basic format, but there is no hurry to get to the point, so we will have a time constraint-free conversation about that movie, and then we'll typically pair it with an older film that makes sense to pair with Joker. In this case, we did Taxi Driver,
Yes.
the Martin Scorsese classic,
course.
and King of Comedy, an underappreciated Martin Scorsese classic, and then the beers that we drink and review kind of create the entire show.
I'm fascinated to see how this works. Now, folks, if you don't know what a podcast is, we're going to explain it in a minute, so stay tuned. I'm just still trying to figure out the concept of the show here. So you get an IPA or independent production,
Craft beer,
a
typically.
craft beer.
Yeah.
And not anything you get at the 7-Eleven, right? Usually-
Sometimes, but we enjoy.
When your money's low.
We also have we
got a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
We have an unwritten goal of trying to drink a beer from all 50 states. So we have, in the course of about 60 episodes, we've had 126 beers from 27 states around the country.
Very good.
And 5 nations around the world. But, you know, so
the
someday
kind
we'll
of
get there,
job.
Mac, and we'll stumble in here and tell you all about
Hey,
it.
I'd love to hear it. I'm
Yeah,
telling
didn't we
you.
have a beer from New Zealand? Wasn't that a concern?
We did.
Yeah.
We visited Japan, New Zealand, Norway, and
So this isn't like that other show that I like called Drunk History.
no.
Well,
it
towards
can
the end
get
of the
into that
episode,
sometimes.
Yeah, everything is done responsibly, of course, but sometimes we're irresponsible, especially Carlos about his opinions of the films. He and I will get into disagreements often,
Yeah.
and David is our trusted referee.
Okay.
I try to mediate.
Good. So we drink a beer, we review the beer, then we come up with a movie that you all have seen, and then you discuss it. Now,
And then we repeat that one more time for each show.
okay, so if someone listens to your podcast, is it someone who hasn't seen the movie or who would like to hear your take of the movie.
We are not spoiler free, so we definitely, our reviews will include, you know, plot details that some people may not want to know beforehand, so we try to be upfront about that. I think it's better if you've seen the movie, but then again, I'm somebody who likes to hear people's opinions no matter what, even if I haven't seen it yet.
I have several friends that will not listen to one of our episodes until they see the film.
Oh, there you go.
And I've
Now-
got several friends that listen to it no matter what. So,
Right.
you know.
Okay, Beer in a Movie, that's the title. Now, how do I get it? How do
can
I
get-
hear it? It's an audio thing.
Yeah, it's like a radio show, but on the internet.
Okay.
So you can go to beerindamoviepodcast.com and there's a link to listen to it there. You can also go to Apple Podcasts. That's where I feel like the majority of people, like 75% of our listeners get it. And then you can also get it on Spotify if you're a Spotify user. So no matter what, there is a way to get it on your phone, computer. You can download it, do whatever you want.
So it would be something that I could listen to while I'm driving?
Yeah.
If I'm
Driving,
taking a
working
trip to
out.
Houston?
That's how I listen to most of
I'd
my
listen.
podcasts.
About how long is the commitment of time there?
About an hour, give or
An
take.
hour?
I think our Joker went closer to an hour and a half.
Oh my gosh, lots to talk about there. All right, well, when the new one comes out, The Irishman,
Yeah.
That's my most anticipated film for the rest of the year.
You want to come on and discuss it with us, Matt?
Matt,
after I see
you
it.
want to come on and
You're
discuss
on,
it?
you're
Okay,
on. I'd
you're
love
our
to be
special
there.
guest.
Well,
it.
you know, Scorsese.
We're going to teach you exactly what this thing is all about.
All right.
Baptism by
I'm
fire.
looking
Yeah.
forward to learning about making a podcast with beer and a movie. Very good, guys. Thank you very much for coming by.
Thanks for
We'll
having
be
me.
back with more. And Stefan Lewis is here to talk about what the surfing's going to do this weekend. So we'll be talking about that in just a moment.